Hello, students, and welcome to online episode number 75. 75. Wow, we made it very, very far. And we're going to keep on going because I love bringing you guys new content to watch and new things, topics to enjoy, and everything like that. So today. Oh, I'm sorry, that was probably very loud. I'm trying to fix my microphone a little bit. So today we are going to be talking about everyone's favorite drink. No, not Coca-Cola. That's my favorite drink. But everyone's favorite drink in the whole world is tea. Afternoon tea is a big culture, and having tea time goes through every culture. So we're going to focus on tea and tea culture and the world's most famous drink. So let's get started. Tea is one of the most widely enjoyed beverages in the world, and its history stretches back thousands of years. Many people drink tea simply for refreshment or for relaxation, but there are many deep traditions that surround the preparation and drinking of tea. From royal courts to family kitchens, tea has played an important role in daily life across many societies. Understanding the history of tea allows us to appreciate the drink even more, and it shows us the ways in which people connect with one another through simple, shared rituals. The origins of tea can be traced to ancient China. According to a Chinese legend, tea was discovered by Emperor Shen Nong over 4,000 years ago when tea leaves accidentally fell into a pot of boiling water. Whether or not this story is true, written records show that tea was already valued in China more than 2,000 years ago. At first, it was used mainly for medicinal purposes. People believed it could purify the body, sharpen the senses, and promote long life. Over time, tea drinking developed into a cultural practice with special tools, preparation methods, and rules about how tea should be served. The elegance and simplicity of Chinese tea culture influenced many neighboring countries, like Japan. The first tea arrived in Japan around the 9th century, brought by Buddhist monks who had studied in China. These monks drank tea to stay awake during long hours of meditation. Over the centuries, tea became a central part of Japanese culture, eventually developing into a highly refined tea ceremony. This ceremony was not only about drinking tea, it is also about the process and beauty of preparing it. Every moment, from boiling the water to cleaning the tea bowl, is performed with style. The Japanese tea ceremony has had a major influence on Japanese culture throughout the centuries. Tea traveled much farther in the 1600s when it arrived in Europe through trade with Asia. At first, it was extremely expensive and considered a luxury enjoyed only by the wealthy. In England, tea gradually became popular among the upper classes, and by the 18th century, it had spread throughout society. One of the most famous developments in British tea culture occurred in the early 1840s, when Anna, the Duchess of Bedford, introduced the custom of afternoon tea. At that time, dinner was served quite late in the evening, and the long gap between lunch and dinner often oh, sorry, I lost my place. Okay. The long gap between lunch and dinner often left people hungry. The Duchess began inviting friends to her home for tea, small cakes, and conversation in the late afternoon. The idea spread quickly, and afternoon tea became a fashionable social event. Afternoon tea soon developed its own rituals. A traditional setting might include fine porcelain cups, silver teaspoons, and multi tiered trays filled with sandwiches, scones, and pastries. Although modern British people do not usually enjoy such elaborate tea breaks every day, afternoon tea remains a symbol of hospitality and elegance. Many hotels and tea rooms still offer it as a special experience, and tourists around the world often seek it out. Tea also plays an important role in the history of the United States, though it's in a very different way. In the 1700s, heavy taxes on imported tea caused tension between American colonists and the British government. The most famous incident was the Boston Tea Party in 1773, when colonists protested by throwing an entire shipment of tea into the harbor. This act helped spark the American Revolution. Today, tea is still popular in the United States, but Americans have developed their own traditions, such as sweet iced tea in the southern states. This refreshing drink is often served at family gatherings, picnics, and restaurants, especially during the hot summer months. In India, tea culture expanded during the British colonial period. Although tea plants are native to the region, large-scale tea production began in the 19th century under British influence. Over time, India became one of the world's largest tea producers. The most famous Indian tea is chai, a spiced milk tea flavor with cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, and other aromatic ingredients. Chai is sold in markets, train stations, and street corners. It is not just a beverage, but a symbol of warmth, hospitality, and community. Across the Middle East and North Africa, tea is also deeply connected to social customs. In Morocco, for example, mint tea is prepared with green tea leaves, fresh mint, and plenty of sugar. Pouring the tea from high above a small glass is an important part of the presentation and creates a layer of foam on top. Serving tea to guests is considered an essential act of hospitality, and refusing tea may be seen as impolite. In Turkey, people enjoy strong black tea served in tulip-shaped glasses, often as a part of everyday conversation with friends or neighbors. Although tea cultures differ greatly from one region to another, the intention of an afternoon tea all have one thing in common, and that is to bring people together. Whether it is a nice, quiet Japanese ceremony, a lively Moroccan gathering, or a simple cup shared between friends, tea offers a moment of connection. It encourages people to slow down, enjoy the present, and appreciate the company of others. Perhaps that is why tea has remained so important throughout history and continues to be cherished around the world today. All right, thank you guys. Let's move on to our vocabulary. We have 5 vocab words. Let's read them and look at their definition. So please repeat after me. Refined. Refined. Refined means developed to a high level of elegance or sophistication. So to make something very luxurious, elegant, and just high level. So that means refined. All right, another word. Next word is colonial. Colonial. Colonial, it means relating to the period when one nation controlled and settled in another region. So, for example, when Britain came to America and controlled America, or when Britain came to India and controlled India, or when Britain came to Australia and controlled Australia. So that they colonized those places, and yeah, they settled there and lived there. So those are called colonials or colonial times or something like that. Number 3 is aromatic. Aromatic. This means having a pleasant and noticeable smell. You can say this about wine, of course, tea, drinks of any sort, flowers, perfumes. You can call it aromatic. It's very aromatic, like that. Number 4, hospitality. Hospitality. This means the friendly and generous treatment of guests or visitors. So it's a way of treating people very nicely, your guests, and that's called giving good hospitality. Or we can say that person is very hospitable. Okay, and number 5 is intention. Intention. Intention means a purpose or plan behind an action. In the writing, it says the intention of afternoon tea is to bring people together. So the plan is to bring people together. All right, those are our vocab words. Now we're going to just look at our discussion questions, and that'll be all for today. So let's look at our discussion questions. Number 1, very, very simple, straightforward question. Do you drink tea? How often? What kind of tea do you drink? What is your ritual? So that means like what's your situation? In what ways do you usually drink tea? Do you drink it at your dining room table? Do you drink it in front of the TV? Do you drink it in the afternoon or in the morning? And things like that. That's your ritual. Okay, number 2. Besides your own country's tradition, what other country's tea tradition do you find the most appealing, and why? So appealing means that you like it. So what other country's tea tradition do you find appealing? Number 3, have you tried all the types of tea that were written in the article? So we talked about Japanese tea, so matcha, green tea from China. We talked about American sweet tea, milk tea, chai, mint tea, and maybe some other ones as well. So what kind of teas have you drank before? Number 4, why do you think tea became such an important drink in so many different cultures? So why do you think it's so important? And finally, number 5, if you created your own special tea tradition, what would it include? So think about part of your ritual. Would you like to add something to your own tea tradition? Okay, I'd love to hear your answers. I'm looking forward to hearing them from all my students. So please think about your answers, write them down, tell me about them, and let's talk about them next time we meet. That's all for episode 75. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.